The U.S. Air Force has deployed B-52H nuclear-capable heavy bombers to East Asia for the first time since 2018. The new bombers were previously deployed to the region during the 2017 standoff between the U.S. and North Korea, during which North Korea tested a nuclear-capable missile having a range to strike the U.S. mainland. The tensions reduced after one-to-one meeting between then-President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, and the bombers were withdrawn. The return of the B-52 to the region comes as the Biden administration is expected to take a much harder line against both North Korea and China, which will be the primary targets of its foreign policy offensives. 4 of the bombers are currently deployed to Andersen Air Force Base on Guam and will reportedly be conducting strategic deterrence missions from there. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. According to government and industry officials in the UK and Germany, the British Ministry of Defense has started discussions with France and Germany about signing up as an observer on their next-generation Main Ground Combat System program. An MOD official in London said, "Observer status is being granted to the UK for the Franco-German Main Ground Combat System program." An industry team involving Krauss-Maffei Wegmann, Nexter, and Rheinmetall are in the early conceptual stages of pulling together a vehicle designed to replace Germany's Leopard 2 and France's Leclerc. Deployment of the new vehicles and systems is scheduled for 2035, with full operational capability to be achieved by 2040. One precondition for a new tank may be the development of a new main cannon with better performance. In a big boost to Indian Air Force (IAF), the third batch of 3 Rafale fighter jets landed in India after flying non-stop from France. The jets flew over 7,000 kilometers, or 4,350 miles, with in-flight refueling. With the arrival of the new batch, the number of Rafale aircraft has increased to 11. The first batch of 5 Rafale jets arrived in India on the 29th of July, 2020. The second batch of 3 Rafale jets arrived in India on November 3rd. The Rafale jets, manufactured by French aerospace major Dassault Aviation, are India's first major acquisition of fighter planes in 23 years, after the Sukhoi jets were imported from Russia. The new fleet of Rafale jets has been carrying out sorties in eastern Ladakh, where India is engaged in a standoff against China. The Indian Air Force had ordered a total of 36 warplanes. A new electrical torpedo has entered service with the Russian Navy. Boris Obnosov, General Director of Russia's Tactical Missiles Corporation, KTRV, which produces a wide variety of ordnance, including missiles, bombs, and naval weapons, confirmed in a recent interview that the introduction of the new torpedo took place sometime last year. The name and technical details of the new torpedo have not yet been disclosed. In 2020, we completed state tests of the first Russian, as opposed to Soviet, electric torpedo, Obnosov told Russia's military-industrial Courier newspaper. In the USSR, they were produced, but with less high-performance characteristics. Today, the first series production examples of new electric torpedoes have already entered service with the Russian Navy. Obnosov added that the new weapon was considered significantly superior to Western models in terms of noiselessness, range, immersion depth, and target detection range by the homing system, but offered no specific details about its capabilities. Last August, it was reported that KTRV had received the go-ahead to launch serial production of a new type of torpedo, although at this point it's not announced that it was an electric torpedo. Chinese shipyards have launched the country's 5th carrier warship and the 3rd of the medium-sized Type 075 class 40,000-ton ship, which was completed at the Hudong Zhonghua shipyard in Shanghai on January 29th. The previous 2 ships of the class were launched in September 2019 and April 2020, meaning all 3 were launched in a period of around 16 months. The launch of 3 Type 075 class ships followed on from the commissioning of the Liaoning and Shandong Type 001 and Type 001A class heavy carriers, and brought the total size of the Chinese carrier fleet to over 240,000 tons, based on higher estimates of the Type 075's displacement. The Type 075 class is of similar size to the French carrier Charles de Gaulle, by far the largest carrier in continental Europe, and can accommodate 20 to 30 aircraft depending on their size. Its lack of a catapult launch system, a long runway, or arresting gear means these ships can only accommodate aircraft with vertical landing capabilities, such as helicopters. Fighter aircraft with such capabilities, similar to the U.S. Navy's Harrier II and F-35B, are also thought to be under development. Iran has named a new class of supersonic cruise missile in honor of the fallen General QASEM Soleimani. Viewers may note that the commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Quds Force was killed in an American drone strike in January last year. Iran is expected to begin mass production of the new H-6 missile by the end of 2021, which will come as part of growing deployments of cruise missile designs. As per reports, the missile has a range of 1,800 kilometers or around 1,120 miles, allowing it to strike targets across the Middle East, including U.S. military facilities across the Persian Gulf, as well as targets in Israel. Tensions between Iran and the United States have risen considerably since the U.S., under Trump administration, withdrew from Iran nuclear deal and imposed sanctions. China reportedly dispatched H-6 bombers with escorts to simulate attacks on the American targets. This move comes after U.S. carrier group sailed near Chinese claimed waters. As per reports, the aircraft simulated strikes on American forces. The Zhayan H-6 is a license-built version of the Soviet Tupolev Tu-16 twin-engine jet bomber, built for China's People Liberation Army Air Force, PLAAF. The latest variant is a heavily redesigned version capable of aerial refueling and carrying air-launched cruise missiles. The aircraft gives the PLAAF a long-range standoff offensive air capability with precision-guided munitions. Recently, the bomber was spotted in a video carrying what appeared to be a possible hypersonic missile. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.